analysis. And because you did not ask critical questions of him 8 years ago, our children will suffer from the aftermath 30, 40 years from now. Let me tell you why Obama was put in office. I want you to be clear. Every president is given a domestic agenda and a foreign agenda. Every president. Regardless if it goes in the White House next year, whether it's Hillary or Trump or whomever, they're going to be given a foreign mandate, a domestic mandate. Obama's foreign mandate was to open up Africa's resources to exploitation again. He did that with Africa. America has recolonized Africa on a level we've never seen before under Obamaism. And our African brothers and sisters are just as brainwashed as you are. I was in Africa on the eve of Obama's first and second election, and I couldn't tell them brothers and sisters nothing. Just like you, they had an Obama psychosis. God sent them, Jesus sent them, Muhammad sent them. So when Obama came to their table, they opened up the resources because his daddy allegedly was an African. That was the foreign mandate. Take back Africa. Guess what the domestic one was? Check this out. 8 years ago, the United States government, Hillary Clinton, because she's a population control junkie, we're going to get to that in a minute, because a lot of y'all pro-Hillary. First of all, I disagree with anybody who creates a dichotomy of any white person or people whatsoever. To paint Trump as the devil means Hillary is an angel. You should not be doing that. You're confusing your children. Hillary is no better than Trump. They are the same when it comes to African people. There's no difference there. The difference is only in your mind. Hillary Clinton is a population control junkie. You think you got abortion now? You've seen nothing. You think you got hysterectomy now? You've seen nothing. Late term termination of life in that third trimester, you've seen nothing. But what they do is they call it women's rights. Because they know some sisters are strung up on this feminist thing. So if you want to get rid of black folks and you want them to get abortions and birth control and Depo-Provera and get their tubes tied and late-term abortion, don't call it population control. Call it women's rights. See, white supremacy operates through the names, the titles. They said power is the ability to do what? What is power? The ability to define reality and make the victims accept your definition. Like you believe you exist in freedom. What the hell is free about you? You're not free. Freedom is the ability to do exactly what white folks do, when they do it, and how they do it, economically and politically. Are you free to buy a home anywhere? Are you free to work wherever you want? Is your child free to go to school wherever you choose? You were never free. You were emancipated. Abraham Lincoln gave you an emancipation. But the 13 colonies declared independence. Why were the colonies independent, but Africans were emancipated? The word emancipation is a business concept that speaks to transfer of ownership. The 13th Amendment was a transfer, a business transaction between the owner and the government. The emancipation means that you no longer own them privately, but the whole country owns these Negroes publicly. Eight years ago, the white man said, we got to find a way to push homosexuality. And we need to find a way to push the whole LBGT program in the black community to reduce their numbers and brainwash their children. But we have to do it in a way that they would accept. See, they have think tanks. The white man got think tanks. Think where they sit around and strategize, how do we push this on black folks? Because they said black people are largely not a homosexual people. Yeah, they've always had their gays in their family, but they know to stay in their damn place and keep that stuff out the view of the family. Am I wrong? Okay? We've had aunts and uncles and brothers and sisters, but they know you don't come out with that. We understand. But that shit don't see the light of day in this house. Right? That was the code. We used to have a code. So they said, how are we going to get black people to accept wholesale, out in the open, unrestricted homosexuality? Unrestricted lesbianism, unrestricted bisexuality and transgenderism when this is not who they are. How are we going to do this? These people are not for that. The black church is not for it. They say, here's what we're going to do. George Bush's second term, we're going to ignore the Constitution that says separation of church and state. And we're going to allow the black church to start receiving federal grant dollars. And once the black church starts receiving shut up money from the government, they will shut up. That's preparation. Then we're going to put Obama in office because Negroes have a self-esteem deficit, so that whenever they see somebody who looks like them, they stop analyzing their agenda and they stay focused on their skin tone. So while black folks are celebrating Obama, paying no attention to his policy, we're going to push the LBGT culture on the black community under the disguise of a black president who's really carrying out a gay agenda. And so the past 8 years, most of you have changed your position on LBGTism purely off of the basis of Obama's influence. Now, let me tell you what's interesting about Obama. His first term of office, he said very clearly at the podium, I believe marriage is between a man and a woman. If you don't believe me, it's on YouTube. Marriage is between a man and a woman. I will not consent to marriage being between anything other. This is Obama running for president, first term. Second term, he becomes the first president in American history to approve same-sex marriage. One was a setup, the other was a takeover. Obama was not put in office to be a reparation to you. He was not put in office because America is post-racial. Obama was put in office to do one thing and one thing only: get you to accept the LBGT takeover of the black civil rights movement. Are you aware that homosexuals have gotten more rights in 4 years than you've gotten in 400 years? Are you aware? And if you LBGT, I'm not beating up on you. I'm doing an analysis. I don't hate our LBGT brothers and sisters. I don't. I'm a therapist. I know how most of them come to that lifestyle. And it's because we don't know how to choose our babysitters very well. Most homosexual men were touched. Most lesbian women were molested. And you do know black women have the highest molestation rate in the Western world. So I can't beat up on the victim. I got to beat up on the system that brings forth dysfunctional behavior. And I don't spend all day dealing with homosexuality because we got a lot of dysfunctional behaviors. That's just one of them. That's just one of them. So whoever comes in office next, you better get ready to boogie because it's going to get worse. But before Obama leaves, he's going to make sure this homosexual thing is thoroughly implanted in your ghetto. Thoroughly implanted. The transgender bathroom thing, which is a disgrace, that's just the first of many that's coming before he walks out of there. He got to finish the job for which he was selected. So that's Obama. Let me move on to you now.